These 8 scientifically proven stress-reducing exercises have changed my life. And by the end of this video, you'll have many options to choose from to cut your stress levels in half. So let's step right into our first exercise that'll have you living a better life. We're starting off very simple with one that almost anyone can do, and that's walking. It's so simple that you may have been ignoring it for decades. Let me explain why this easy exercise is so important for cutting down stress levels. A Harvard study found that just 20 minutes a day of walking slashes cortisol, your body's stress siren, and boosts mood-lifting serotonin. It's like giving your nervous system a bubble bath. Oh, and it also happens to be the most accessible exercise on planet Earth. But let's get one thing straight. This isn't about power walking like you're late for a flight or counting steps like a robot. Stress reduction walks are a different beast. Here's why they work. Rhythmic movement activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, while distracting your brain from its endless loop of what-ifs. When I really want to get serious with it, I usually just ditch the headphones, and you probably should too. Listen to birds, traffic, or your own thoughts. Scary, I know. Studies have found that green walks in parks lower stress hormones twice as fast as urban strolls. If you think walking around is too basic or easy to do anything for your stress levels, hold that thought. Our next move takes things to the deep end, quite literally. It's time to dive into stress relief that feels less like exercise and more like a secret cheat code. It's the only activity where gravity takes a coffee break, your joints get a standing ovation, and your brain slips into a smooth flow state. It's swimming. And no, you don't need to be Michael Phelps. Science calls this biomechanical bliss, and here's why. A 2022 study found that just 30 minutes of pool time slashes anxiety and generally improves mental health. Let's break it down. The second you slip into water, hydrostatic pressure, which you can think of as nature's weighted blanket, hugs your body, dialing down inflammation and ramping up circulation. Your muscles relax, your breath deepens, and your stress, it sinks to the bottom like a stone. Cold water amplifies the magic. A quick plunge spikes dopamine by 250% for up to 2 hours. No ice bath? No problem. Even lukewarm pool sessions work. Just remember that this isn't about perfect butterfly form or crushing laps. Stress-busting swims are sensory surrender. Sync your strokes with your breath. Inhale purposefully, like you would outside a bakery, and exhale like you're blowing out birthday candles. Let your legs drag slightly. Overkicking tenses your hips, which defeats the purpose. And hey, if you're more into crushing stress rather than floating past it, patience, Padawan, because the next move swaps fluid grace with ironclad strength. Also, by the way, if you want to receive free weekly fitness tips from FitZip, you can join my newsletter by clicking the link in the description below. Anyway, now it's time to shift gears from liquid zen to something that'll make stress regret ever crossing you. In this next exercise, every rep is a middle finger to cortisol, and every lift literally squeezes anxiety out of your cells like toothpaste. I'm talking about weightlifting. We won't be ego lifting refrigerators or chasing gains here. Today, all about stress management. That said, resistance training reduces anxiety symptoms by 20% more than cardio alone. Why? Hoisting weights triggers a flood of endorphins, your brain's chill pills, while lowering stress hormones. And the cherry on top, the benefits stick around longer than you'd expect. The calm you're building here? It's the exact same focus you'll need for exercise 6, where we trade iron for let's just say a more primal form of stress relief. When weightlifting to alleviate stress, it's best to focus on compound moves like goblet squats, deadlifts, overhead presses, moves that force your muscles and mind to collaborate. Example, grab a kettlebell, hold it close to your chest, and squat. As you rise, imagine pressing your worries to the floor. The key? Tempo. Take 3 seconds to lower, 1 second pause, explode up. This time, under tension, hack spikes mood-boosting BDNF proteins. Lift at 60 to 70% of your max. Heavy enough to challenge, light enough to avoid rage quitting. And if you're not a big fan of weights, swap barbells for resistance bands or bodyweight moves like push-ups. Stress doesn't care what weapons you use, just that you show up and put up a good fight. And with the third round in the bag, it's time to get into a rhythm that'll have your nervous system running like a machine. But really quick before we get into that, if you want a way to combine cardio and strength training without needing a ton of space, you gotta check out Cross Rope. They've taken jump rope workouts to the next level with their weighted ropes, helping you burn more calories, build muscle, and level up your endurance in one simple movement. I've been loving the ropeless jump ropes that let you get the same workout indoors without ever hitting the ceiling or making noise. Plus, you can link the jump rope up to the Cross Rope app that has over 2,500 workouts, lets you track your stats, compete with friends, and follow guided jump sessions, so you'll never get bored. This is one of the most fun and effective ways to stay fit. Check them out using my link in the description below, and you'll get a 15% discount. Alright, let's talk about an activity that's a great way to outrun stress. Literally and figuratively. Gliding through space with the wind as your therapist and your brain too busy soaking in endorphins to remember what stress even is. No, it's not your favorite band's concert, it's cycling. Studies have found that regular riders have 25% lower stress levels than non-cyclists. Here's the science. Pedaling rhythmically triggers your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, while the repetitive motion acts like a neural broom, sweeping away mental clutter. Outdoor rides? They're a double win. Sunlight boosts serotonin, and navigating turns forces your brain into a flow state, aka moving mindfulness. Indoor cycling? Crank up ABBA and pretend you're in a music video about escaping or something. Either way, aim for a conversational pace, where you could almost sing along without gasping. Ready to swap smooth pedals for primal pounding? Because sometimes going in circles isn't enough, and on days like that, stress needs a good stomping. Let's ditch the bike and go old school, like really old school. No gears, no handlebars, just you, the ground, and a rhythm much older than TikTok dances. Running, or as I'd like to call it, the rage room for your mind. Here's why it works. Running floods your system with anandamide, a bliss molecule nicknamed the brain's THC. Translation: stress doesn't stand a chance. Studies have found that joggers report fewer anxiety episodes than non-runners. And no, you don't need to sprint like Usain Bolt. Slow, steady jogs at 60 to 70% effort are the sweet spot. Most people sabotage running by treating it like a punishment. Don't! Cue up a playlist that makes your soul vibrate. Hip-hop, metal, audiobooks, whatever gets you going. And this endurance you're building here, it's stealth prep for exercise 8, where we'll trade all the motion for something far more, stationary but just as effective. Now, let's pivot from solitary strides to something louder, where rhythm meets rebellion and your entire body becomes a weapon of mass relaxation. Let's swap sneakers for gloves. After outrunning stress, it's time to stand your ground and fight back, where you take jabs at anxiety, unload frustration with every hook, and make your entire body a stress-killing weapon. Pretty sure you figured it out already, but if not, meet boxing, the stress-busting art that's been knocking out cortisol for millennia. Here's the science. A 2022 AJLM study found that just 20 minutes of bag work can slash anger and anxiety by 40%. Why? Punching triggers a surge of endorphins, your brain's euphoria squad, while forcing your mind into laser focus. No room for existential dread when you're dodging imaginary uppercuts. And no, you don't need Mike Tyson's fury. Controlled power beats wild swings every time. Rub those wrists, square up to the bag, and channel your inner Rocky. Rotate your hips, control your breath, and exhale sharply with each punch. Let's cool the fire with an ancient practice that's all about not throwing hands. Next up, stress meets its match in a silent assassin. It's time to flip the script. Imagine an activity where not moving is the ultimate power move, where stillness isn't passive. Think of it as a negotiation with your nervous system. You stop, it stops. Just you, your breath, and a centuries-old secret weapon. It's yoga, and no, you won't need to fold yourself into a pretzel or chant Sanskrit. Not if you don't want to. Science backs this hard. A Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine study found that just 10 minutes of yoga daily significantly cuts cortisol and boosts GABA, your brain's chill-out chemical. But how? Slow, deliberate poses hack your vagus nerve, switching your body from fight or flight to rest and repair. Stress basically becomes a bad roommate you finally get to evict. Most people sabotage yoga by chasing flexibility. Don't! Yoga is about sensation, not contortion. So skip the handstands you've seen on social media. Start with child's poses. Knees wide, forehead to mat, arms stretched like you're reaching for sanity. Breathe into your lower back, the stress storage unit you forgot existed. You can also try thread the needle. Pair each pose with box breathing. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 4, exhale 4. It's like a factory reset for your adrenal glands. A 2020 study found yoga improves emotional regulation faster than cognitive behavioral therapy for some. Here's my translation: cheaper than therapy, healthier than wine. I mean, even The Rock does yoga. If a man who bench presses small cars can embrace downward dog, so can you. And once you're done, let's master the art of doing less to gain more. Because sometimes the best way to fight chaos is to stop fighting. A move so simple, it's genius. After bending, boxing, and breathing your way to calm, this next exercise might come across as a bit of a plot twist. Here's the curveball. Do nothing. Well, not exactly nothing. That would not make much sense. Not Netflix and nap nothing. Isometric hold exercises. The ninja level tension tamers where stillness is your superpower. It's an activity where you conquer chaos by literally holding your ground. Spoiler, it's harder than it sounds and twice as effective. Here's the science. Isometrics, muscle tension without movement, spikes strength and melts stress. A study found that holds like planks and horse stances lower cortisol and promote relaxation. Controlled tension teaches your nervous system to thrive under pressure, like Navy SEAL training for your stress responses. Start with the horse stance. Feet wide, knees bent like you're riding an invisible stallion. Hold until your thighs scream, then smile. Bruce Lee swore by this for focus. You'll swear at it for burning your quads. Next, planks. Elbows under shoulders, core tighter than a jar your kid closed. Breathe like you're fogging a mirror. Slow breaths turn this into a panic attack. Most people quit when the shaking starts. Push through it. The tremors means your brain's rewiring stress resilience. Think of it as a silent negotiation. You hold, stress folds. If you want to take your body to the next level, I recommend watching this video right here. Share this video with a friend if you found it helpful.